G'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So for the people who've been following me for a while now, you would have seen me do this tree or work on these two trees as in a previous video, and I put the link to those videos before. I call these my beginner trees, in terms of little beginner trees, in the sense of something to start off with for beginners. I showed you how to repot some of these guys. They were just seedlings, and I just combined them up and repotted them and put them together. Now, as you can see, it's summer and these trees are kicking along really well, really healthy, nice little 3 trees in one group, you know. So what do you do next? I like the foliage, I like to leave it alone, I like to just not do too much to it. It's really cute as it is, but what I might want to do is put a bit of wire so see how this is going back on that is going into that. You want to separate the trunks a little bit just to give it a bit more style. So now it's summer, the tree won't grow as fast, so it won't cut in, so I wouldn't have to worry about too much wire cutting in just yet. So that's this little guy. I think it's a nice little three tree group. Maybe I want to position some of these back this way, maybe get that guy to go that way and that way. We'll see how we go, but just slight tweaks on the bit of wire, a few little tweaks just to improve the tree a little bit more. But cute little beginner tree that we can start with, and was healthy and has been growing, and proves the point of, you know, you can use seedlings and you can have a nice little tree. Especially if you're starting out, you can actually, once I wire this out, you can see that it actually looks a bit better. So we repotted it in probably July, this tree I probably did it in. Now it's January, so you know, it's almost 6 months before I even look at it. So that's what I mean by you repot it, leave it there, survives, great. Off you go, start working on it now in 6 months time. This tree's done it even better, I think, apart from the weeds. This tree's done quite well. It's a 5 trunk tree. This trunk is pretty much, it's a bit too low probably. Maybe we need to wire that up a bit more. But it's looking really nice as a 5 tree group, you know, as a clump style. But if I wire that up, position some of the branching, you know, the trunks actually are all in good spots except for this one. I think the rest have come along really well. Just look for a front, get that up a bit more, put it in the back somewhere. Yeah, and just put a bit of wire and make it look really pretty. Don't want to do too much to them. I think some of these are, but you can see, for example, this guy's really skinny but very tall, so he probably needs a bit of a trim just because it's a bit too tall for the height. Whereas this guy is the biggest tree and the strongest, and he should be the tallest, so it's good. So there's some of the things we'll talk about. But this front, all these guys are probably the right height because they're a bit smaller. You just want different heights as well. If a branch doesn't look that healthy, I might cut it back. But yeah. Now these were seedlings that have grown and had a few bends in them. But as a tree on its own, it's a bit too small, a bit too nothing. But put them in a group, put them in a pot. It looks really cute, and you can have something, especially for a beginner, to look at and style and work on. So in this sense, it's good beginner trees, and something a bit of fun as well. But now I want to be serious a bit more. Now I've got these trees surviving, they're doing well. Let's just get it looking a little bit better. So that's what I'm planning to do today. It'll be pretty quick. Just put a bit of aluminium wire on them, bend them up a little bit, just slightly, just to improve their quality. And yeah, that's pretty much what I'll do. So stay tuned. I'll grab some wire. Sorry, just had to make sure that was all working. Let's start with the small guy first. Just having a look, see if you can see this tree. That's pretty straight. I don't really like that. Just maybe want to go this way a little bit, and then maybe come over this way, just so it's over the top, and maybe put that over there. So it's like a 3 tree flowing in this direction, possibly. Nothing too much, but just small tweaks. Wouldn't need much very heavy wire, I don't think. Let's have a look. I think maybe 2.5 mil or so. So when I do this, I'm going to, because the trees are still quite new, I like to anchor some sort of wire into the base. So that's why I've cut this piece off. So I just want to anchor that into the base. And be very careful and gentle as much as you can. Make sure you try and go in between all the nodes. So you don't break some branching off. Careful the foliage. I haven't wired it too tight as well, just trying to keep it just off. Like you can probably see just a gap between the wire and the trunk and then the branch as well. I don't think I need any more, so I'll just put some wire there. Let's just wire up the rest of those trunks as well. Same method. Let's go around the trunk. So I'm just recovering still from that cold I had, which was really annoying. Had it over New Year's. It was very, very annoying. But I'm just almost finished, almost recovered. Back into it now. It doesn't have to be perfect, this wire, because it's just one to wire up the trunk. And if it's a bit more loose than normal, that's even better, because I find if it's a little bit looser, less risk of cutting into the trunk. So by anchoring into the soil, we've got an anchor point, which means we can just work our way up the tree. I always use both hands to support on a wire. One hand to hold the trunk and where the wire is, and one hand to wire. So just like this. It's much easier when you're wiring towards yourself as well, when you can see what you're doing. Very important. Alright, so that's wired up. Now let's position some of these trees. I do like this guy, maybe I'll make him go back a little bit and come over here. Just slightly. I like it coming, I want it to come this way. More of a cascading kind of branch out here. So I've just tilted that one back more to the right a little bit, and then it's come back over. I might want to get this guy a little bit closer to this. I don't want the spaces to be even, so I want to have them different spaces. If you have it even, it looks contrived. So what I want to do is try and get him closer to the main trunk, and then have it come over. So they're almost joined. And then this guy is the smaller one, who's sitting under the shade of the two bigger trees. So I want that gap to be pretty close, as much as I can without. So the claps should be closer there than there. That gap should be smaller, that gap should be a bit bigger, something like that. So there you go, something like that to start off. A bit more interest, creating a bit more of a canopy, let it fill out, and there you go. And just cut off those bit of those wires that are a bit too long. And there you go, that's the update. That's the next phase of that tree's life, I guess. Let it grow. It probably only needs a couple of months with that wire on, just keep checking it, and just so it doesn't cut in. So hope you guys like that one. That's that one done. Before, as you remember, being a bit more straighter and contrived. Now it's a bit more interesting. Yeah, bit of wire, amazing what it can do. All right, there you go. Let's have a look at this guy. So I'm just going to look for the best possible front. It's got lots of options. You can choose any front. I do like what I chose originally there. It shows all the trunks and all interesting how they come out and twist. I don't mind this one too much being there. I just think it might need to sit at the back a little bit. Seat at the back, possibly there. Oh, it could possibly sit there. I just think it's falling over. It doesn't look strong. It looks like it's not surviving. The beauty of this one is it's got really good branching, a lot of trees, and actually the sub branching starting to happen. So it's this trunk, for example, has now 2 branches. You know, things like that. But it could use, you know, as I said, this is too tall. I think before I even wire it, I'm going to reduce that down at least to that. At least probably a bit more, because that node's very, very long. See that node there? It's very long, and you'll never get a bud there or a branch in that section. So that's better. We'll do that. Again, I think this is too long. I'll just show you. See that? And I'll cut back to this bud. So we're going to have a pretty tall main tree and some smaller trees around it. Yeah. Hope you can see that. It barely needs wire, I think. I do want to put just to create some more interest, because you see this bit here. It's interesting at the base, and this bit's very straight, and that's what you want to. So it's nice and twisted up here, but the rest has to be a bit twisted up as well. So let's get some wire on that big main trunk, especially. Again, I'll just follow the same method of into the base. Watch the twigs, watch the branching. Some leaves you'll knock off, unfortunately. Not much you can do. Let's do some of the sub-branching. It's interesting because some of these trunks are really nice already, and they're in good spots. So I'm not sure if I really want. Maybe I have to wire this guy a little bit. Maybe if I bend this, might not have to wire it all. So I bend that there. So what I've done is I've wired it back a little bit just to reduce. What that does is it reduces the height of the tree, and just want to create some interest. So be very careful, because you could snap these guys. Yeah, see now a bit more interest. Looks much more nicely flowing. Yeah, so I will have to at least wire some of these up. And that guy. So let me just do that. I might actually try and do 2 with 1, because I'll go around the base. I'm just going to do the other two now, and these two. I'm just going to put some wire on it as well. Now I'm just going to position some of these guys. It wasn't too hard to wire it up, as you can see. I brought this guy up a little and I put him in the front. I think I like having the trunk in the front there. I'll bring it close up. So that's probably the front in there. I like that being there. This guy's interesting because he's probably the second tallest, so he's got to be up there, but you've got to put some movement in. But it's got like some good sub branching in here, so some good sub branches, so that will fill out nicely. Might have to give them a trim, just because it gets we don't want it to get too crazy busy in there, so that's good. Just going to make him go this way, there, and there. Alright, so maybe him in the front. There you go, something like that. Multiple trunks, multiple trees. Imagine that, fills out nicely. Yeah, bit of wire, keep an eye on it, but looking cute. It's actually quite cute. But yeah, especially for beginners, you know, you don't have to know how to wire every single branch. You need to just know how to wire some of the main branches, wire the trunks up. Yeah, not too hard. There's nothing hard there that I did. We repotted, you know, put these in a pot in spring, in winter, end of winter, when there's time to repot. Then we've come in and let it recover for 6 months, let it grow. It's grown really well. Now it's a bit of time to put a bit of movement and use your imagination. Be creative. Think of you know, ideas and how you want the tree to look, something like that for the next phase. But that's about it. You know, wire the trunks up. Put more interest in them. The reason I bent all of them is that's how the trees are all doing. They're all moving, they're all twisting, they're all bent. So that's why you need to do all the trunks. You can't leave one straight and all the others bent, for example. And eventually what will happen is even your branching will be bent or more twisted up a little bit. Nothing will be straight, because this tree is all moving and varying in different directions. Anyway guys, that's pretty much it. I'll bring the other tree up. So there's two little beginner trees, all done, all twisted, all looking good. I think a few people commented about the update. So here's the update on these trees. So there you go. It's good to follow up with trees and show you where you're at, because these things work. I mean, it shows you history and how trees are continuing to progress. So there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, just so you can get notifications of new videos when I put them up. Okay, see you next time.